We have coming inside of this show right now the one and only Josh Haskins, new CEO of Hollow Socks. Yeah, look at you. Look at you. Huh? Look
I
at
can't
that.
hear you. My alpaca's too sick right now.
I can't hear you. I got too much alpaca in my ear.
Can't hear you. Too much alpaca.
I think alpacas come from Peru. I think. Am I wrong about that? Is that
Yeah,
llamas?
they do. Is it?
Not
Actually,
sure.
he would know. We should ask
I'm
him.
not sure. I'm not sure if alpacas or llamas are different. But Josh, newly minted CEO over at Hollow Socks, we must bring him inside of this show. Everybody, welcome the one and only Josh Haskins. Get in here, Josh. Let's go. Get inside this show.
Let's go.
Cowboys. Love the sock
Gosh.
choice to begin with. If we could just hit a quick ad read in the beginning, if you guys hold those back up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you want alpacas on your feet? Yeah, you do. Because you're tired of having lame, tired dogs barking at you at the end of the day. If you're going to go on a run for 70 miles or stand up on your feet working hardcore blue collar all day long, you need to get some Hollow Socks, get them on your feet, and get ready to go throughout the day. Many thanks for Hollow being part of the show.
Absolutely. Glad the Cowboys could get some socks in.
Let's go.
Josh, man, hey, first of all, congratulations. Congratulations to you. Yeah. I believe when we were talking with the one and only Zach Stuck, I believe you were GM at the time.
I was,
and he was saying, Josh, maybe this guy could be CEO. And then like it happened like 2 days later, something like this.
That's awesome. Yeah. Zach, King of Wisconsin. So yeah, he and I got connected. He is. If you talk to anybody in and around Appleton, like the ecosystem he's built in D2C has just been incredible to watch. But yeah, I guess I did something right because he brought me on beginning of the year as GM. And I think honestly, Marsman becoming just the absolute moonshot just helped him really be like, hey, there's something really promising here. Let's give Josh the reins and go do that. But hot off the press, I literally saw this as I was coming in. Did you guys see the Thorn update? You've been on air if you haven't, so I get to break news.
Yeah. What? Wait.
Yeah, the Thorn update. Crazy.
Breaking news.
What's the Thorn update?
So the Thorn just got acquired by P&G for what, $3.8 billion.
Let's go.
Massive. And so Elcat Arts had a massive opportunity there. So big news for M&A supplement world. Zach Stuck, I think, just got another notch in the, hey, let's go. Let's rip on this runway. So
that is exciting. Wow.
I love that.
Maybe the King of Wisconsin has some B's in his future, behind all those dollar signs. A few more zeros.
Anybody get the reference?
Chris Camas. Amazing reference.
Wow. Josh,
more importantly, Marsman's ripping, but we're here to talk about Hollow. We're not here to pump Zach's book. Right?
Exactly. We're here to talk Hollow. And I didn't think you would ever leave Nike Strength. Weren't you at Nike Strength and something before this, something like this?
For sure. Yeah. I got to join this incredible team. It was a licensing team. So Nike has several licensees, and I got to be part of the early group that helped launch Nike Strength. I'm a Florida man, though. So my wife and I were back in Tampa with our crew. My wife and I got married here. We grew up in Florida. And so there was just this kind of pull to get back. Oregon, it was a fun trip for us, but I'll tell you, the 9 months of rain and grayness had a huge impact. So it was great. It was great to get an opportunity to get back to the East Coast. And joining the Hollow team's been an absolute blast. I honestly thought it was going to be so hard to find a group and just business that I enjoyed as much as I did Nike Strength. So hats off to that team. Stay in touch with them. It's awesome to see them still launching products, taking over the facility space. So,
wow,
Josh, could you talk us through why Alpaca? You got to hit on this because Chris and I, and also are alpacas from Peru? Because Chris and I were debating
absolutely. They are from Peru.
There we go.
Yeah, happy to report. Hollow is probably one of the largest consumers of alpaca fiber globally at this point. But like this, the sock market, you have this heavily commoditized kind of cotton industry with, call it your tube sock. You've got brands that play on kind of the logo game there, which the swoosh on a white sock. Who hasn't owned 20, 30, 40 of those? And just there's such a huge play on those, right? And then Wool came into the market and said, hey, there's actually performance you can build into this product. And you kind of realized, oh, wow, this like wool benefit carries this, incredible quality across like wet conditions, just temperature regulation, all those things. And then what our founder, Brian, is really the credit of our tinkerer who figured this out. Brian's got this like long history of being highly curious and finding these little product niches. So he launched Fix-It Sticks as well. If you're familiar, that's kind of a bike / armed, fine goods that you use to repair things. And so Fix-It Sticks and hollow socks. And so anyway, he realized that there was this difference in the product, and he was a cyclist in Wisconsin, really cold weather. And he's like, I want something better. And so it kind of just kept leading to this inception of like, well, what's out there? Okay, wool, sheep's wool. How can we get alpaca? So namesake, hollow, right? The fiber of alpaca yarn is hollow. So it allows incredible breathability of properties. Yeah. And so you get incredible temperature regulation, durability. If you're listening or seeing this and you're like, he's just like pumping this fiber right now, I'm a believer. Like it delivers on the core things that you would expect. And like, it was kind of a joke too. I was like, well, I'm going to be in Florida most of the time. And the team was like, don't worry, even though we've got cold weather products, it forms in heat as well. So it's been awesome to be educated by the team that's like built this incredible roadmap of innovation, because the sock has performed so well that really like our job is how do we go find net new cohorts, expand audiences? Because if you wear socks, there's a good chance that if you have a value for what you're doing with those socks, so we say gear up for great days. If you want to have a great day, like Hollow can help with that. Whether you're a tradesman, whether you're getting into the deer blind this season, or whether you're just trying to avoid inflammation from like compression socks, like we've found an incredible moat to how do we like get in there and disrupt those different verticals and cohorts. And man, our opportunity, like we're just now like really finding hold and like compression socks, for instance. And so there's a huge runway here with alpaca. And so yes, the alpaca fiber is here to stay. No intention of deviating from that anytime soon.
Here's what I find incredible about what you guys have done at Hollow, Josh, is you got a sock, okay? Like everybody wears socks, big TAM, okay, which is awesome. And you do got a better cup of coffee, okay? You're using alpaca, which is great. It's got the hollow fibers, all the things, good hot, good cold. What I find incredible is that you didn't just like find a winning ICP, like a winning cohort, and like develop a great product and then just like live there forever. Like that would have been my thought. When I first stumbled upon Hollow, I thought it was like the ultra marathon, like, I thought that's what it was. Yeah. But now, man, come to find out, Hollow is Hollow's for the blue collar boys. Hollow is for everybody who's getting in the deer stand in the Midwest and going to freeze their buns off while they do it. Hollow is for those who need compression socks that, for whatever reason, health issues, etc. And the way that you guys have like product developed, like to find winning niches and like continue to explore and grow Hollow, I find fascinating. I probably just would have stuck with marathon runners and live there forever. But I think this is much to you and the team's credit.
Yeah, thanks. I'll give a ton of credit to the team. I got to stand on the shoulders of a ton of people when I came over and joined and just help with kind of some of the forward-looking piece. But, when you think about how much runway we have to really, it's like finding these niches that have like the person really has a high value for what they're doing, like I said, with that sock. And then our roadmap looks incredible because, if I were to we kind of like bucket a few of our groups, we've got this like hardworking American man that gets up early for the hunt, gets up early for the job, is like in winter elements. And so like that ICP is great. And, you talked about like, I'm surprised you got into this. Like really our consumers pulled us into a lot of these places, right? Like we were asking everybody, hey, what are you doing with this boot sock? And we really learned that they were using it as a hunting product. So we're like, great, let's launch a hunting product.
Awesome.
And, we've expanded on that ICP too. We just launched a tactical sock last week and actually blew our assumptions away because
tactical sock, Josh?
Yeah, tactical sock. Yeah, so for the operators, right? So we've got the hunter,
Let's go.
we've got the guy sitting there, and so yeah, we launched a tactical sock that's really durable for whether if you're rucking, anybody competing at like the tactical games, you're just at the range for the day because the hunt sock is really designed to keep you warm. But your mobility while hunting is fairly like it's like get to somewhere and then chill, right? Whereas tactical is very much on the move. So our product team, Christian, our head of product, did a phenomenal job. Like, hey, how do we ideate around this? And then something I'm really excited for is we've got a performance line coming out next month. So I guess you guys are hearing about it first. But again, like just expanding that opportunity. Yes, made in America too. Heard the eagle.
Come on, double eagle.
Let's go.
Okay. Gosh. All right. Wait. I gotta squeeze this.
You just exploded Chris's mind.
You blew my mind away. Okay, you blew my mind away because think of number one, who knew that a tactical sock needed to exist? I didn't. Okay, but think about this. Do you remember? I know you guys remember the best ad created of all time, the Zen ad, when the jet is flying by and he's got they captured the perfect shot. He's got a Zen on top, of his pilot, whatever. He's driving this giant jet, and the ad is equipping and powering the American warfighter, something like this. Don't you think that would be incredible for Holo? The Navy SEALs, getting up out of the water or whatever it is, the Army Rangers, it's powering the American warfighter, something like that. But that's crazy to me, Josh.
Yeah.
Well, hey, creative team. Previous 20 seconds clip. Let's see what you guys want to do with that. If we just want to steal the inspo right there from the cowboy himself, we can do it.
Steal it. That's incredible, man. Wow.
Josh, I mean, I got to talk with you a little bit about the last publicly reported numbers. You can correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but you guys went from 8 million to 20 million to 47 million in 3 years. Just to do that alone is absolutely brutal. Just from an operation standpoint, I mean, what is breaking? Because you're basically more than doubling the business every single year.
That's bananas.
Yeah. So our growth team are savages first and foremost. So
let's go.
It's still pretty fresh. So you guys got to interview our CMO Max, who has been in the saddle, absolute OG, who has built Holo from the ground up on the growth. And we just brought on a new head of growth, Travis, head of performance creative, Rob. And we have a phenomenal growth team. You guys know Chad as well. I think one of them, you guys live close to Chad, and then Jared on our e-com side. But we have this savage team, and I share that just because the growth has been incredible. But we're so publicly I'll share, we're on track to double the business again this year and do so profitably as well. And so, yeah. So one of the big things that we had is we had this incredible product that functioned really well during winter. And so a big bet we've made in 2026 is how do we diversify out of that occasion so we can sell socks all year round? Because like most businesses, you're going to rip in Q3, Q4. But how do you have a bunch of A players from an OpEx standpoint that you can fund throughout H1? And so what's been incredible is compression has been that bright spot for us of, always on, problem aware consumer that needs this throughout the year. And so we've really leaned into now our H1 playbook is all right, compression. And then of course, we'll the trail end of winter, we can serve quite well. But that's been candidly that with really focused innovation and we're very much function over fashion. And I think that's deep in our roots. So if we do color drops, they're very intentional. I mean, you could probably joke. Go to holosocks.com. You'll see the color offering is incredibly tight, right? You guys saw the Cowboys hold it up. We have gray, we have black, and crazy theory. We launched white in compression last month.
Wow.
And it absolutely ripped. And so
that's awesome.
Because our compression base is increasing, what we'll start to do now is because it's just so many consumers, we will start to do more color drops for that cohort because it's required to kind of meet them where they're at. It's all right, cool. There's an always on need. They've kind of proven, hey, I need more throughout the year. And so we'll have a diversified strategy on compression. But one of the key unlocks we've had as a team is we're really trying to look at our business in cohorts. So our compression consumer couldn't be more different from why am I buying? What are the benefits I care about versus our trades consumer, or our hunter, or our boot wearer. And so it's been fun. It's like, how niche can we stay with our cohorts to obsess it as if like that's the only sock we sell? And the team's done an incredible job just kind of stacking resources against those ideas and concepts so that we don't just context switch so much that we mean nothing to our consumer.
Right.
You know, Josh, I think this is so wise. I mean, it reminds me, which I first heard from Taylor Holiday years ago, about creating peaks of revenue in what would be normally off downtimes.
4 peaks presentation.
Yeah, the 4 peaks.
Familiar.
The 4 peaks. And that was like totally mind blowing to me. It's like, yeah, why not do that? And this seems like so smart for you guys outside of the winter months, developing products that people can buy year round. I do have to say this. I am wearing said sock right now. It's hot in Austin, Texas. I know I am in an air-conditioned studio in an undisclosed place in the Austin, Texas area, but it gets hot in here. Okay, it gets hot. I got big light on me right now. I'm wearing the jacket, I'm suited, Absolutely. I'm booted, I'm ready to go. But I have to say, I have said sock on right now, and I feel great. I feel great. I don't feel hot.
Great shot. Huge shot awesome. For the show.
It feels great. I feel like Hollow, based on the fibers, etc., is built for winning in the warm weather states. I think so.
Absolutely. Yeah. So one of the things I'm excited about is our performance line will just be overtly built from a knit and overall yarn texture to deliver in super hot climates. I tried to be agnostic to living in a hot climate myself. I was like, we're not making a product line just for me to wear, right? No. And so like, it was a great pull from our consumer to serve that like really more active performance-based opportunity for us. And so we're super excited to let that thing rip. It'll set mid-September. That'll be coming out, and so we'll hook up the Cowboys with those too. You can give it the Texas test for me.
Oh yeah, well I already know how that one's going to go, and it's going to be great and winsome, and I'm going to be wearing it every day in studio here. But I got to do that shot so that everybody can see it. That's incredible, man. I think that's so smart. LTV, product development, all on that side. You're just finding so many ways to win and new customers to bring into the fold there. That's great, Josh. I mean, everybody's got feet, it's a big TAM. A lot of ways to win there.
For
Josh,
sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, you did one of the hardest things in D2C, which is going and crossing that 7 to 8 figure line. That is like, a lot of times that is so hard and it's so elusive. Could you talk a little bit about like kind of going through that, and like, what is one thing you would tell an operator that is that 7-figure brand listening right now, because you're now on top of the mountain, so to speak, at the 8 figures, and you're saying like, hey, if you want to be like me and be an absolute boss from Tampa, you got to do this to rock up to 8 figures.
Yeah. So, I mean, first and foremost, like, get a bunch of savages around you. So if you do the math on when I joined the team, it's been 8 figers. I'll come on next time and you could be like, hey, what was it like to go from 8 to 9? Because that's the horizon. But I think like, you need to decide, like, we've heard tons of people talk about this, but like, does your product actually have the opportunity to scale to that much? And so like, if we stayed with one cohort, the reality is our business wouldn't be anywhere near as big as it is. So, like, what's that sweet spot in AOV? How do you diversify across your media mix to understand, like, do you actually have a product you can market profitably at scale? And like, if it requires a moonshot, then you got to go get the moonshot team. Like, if you're, in the supplement space and you're not somebody like a Stuck who actually has that toolkit ready to deploy, like, it's gonna be tough sledding. But I think like it's also one of the greatest times in my mind to be this kind of like solopreneur and launch with a very scrappy, relative like SG&A, right? Motion CEO, Reza. He he's this like IC concept, and like Taylor's been talking about the profit for a long time. Like, there's this really interesting like push of like, hey, how do you maximize kind of revenue per person? I think that's probably one of the fastest ways like a 7-figure goes to 8-figure is like, how do you get really smart people as much resources as you can and just kind of like get out of their way? I think like one of our growing beliefs at Hollow is like hire savages and like don't have managers. And not to say we don't have people that manage things on our team, but like that layer between a strategic idea and the telephone down is really like your speed in business, right? So if like if I were to just remove myself from the team and like the strategy plays out, how quick does that happen from idea to execution, and like at what level of quality? And if we're just playing telephone all day, even with like this incredible tech toolkit that we have today, our job is like, how do we keep the strategic thought to the outcome as like tight as possible? And like I would say too, what AI has done is accelerated the feedback loop. And like I think it's like a sobering moment to go, hey, like our idea is actually good, because you actually as a leader have to make more bets now, because like the game is moving faster. So it's almost like a humbling moment of, hey, do you have enough good ideas to actually like move on quicker? Because like the ship is moving faster. So is your strategy heading in the right direction, or are you like even faster pacing off? Because you don't get this whole like, well, let's review it next week. Can I see a deck on that? It's like, absolutely not. Can't see a deck on that. Like, let's go. Are you going to do anything else with this information? No. Cool. Let's make a call right now and let's just go. And so I think like credit to the team on cycle time. There's such a good DNA of like, hey, what swings are we taking? What are we going to do about it? And what do you need? And like I think the team does a good job too of not considering like an idea failure, but rather a learning. And I know you hear about this stuff all the time, but it's like, yo, let's like learn something this week. And if it's a 0, whatever. But then if we get a win, it's like, hell yeah, scale that thing to the moon. And then we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah.
Josh, I want to compress the bars that you just dropped there into a hyperbolic statement, which is hire a savage and fire their manager. I think there is a lot here. And especially in this age where everything is changing so fast and moving and grooving, like it's time to win, and it's time to win now. It's like move fast, baby.
Yeah, and I think it's less about the like. There's like a very emotional reaction when you talk about firing people. I think it's like, hey, create an outcome-driven culture where the expectations are clear. So the onus on leadership has never been more clear, so that you provide the roadmap. And if people aren't meeting your expectations, it's like, well, it's because you got a crappy plan. So like take a look in the mirror, make sure you actually have the right things downstream. And like to the savage piece too, like they just go cook and then they come back and they're like, oh, I got an idea. I got this. And so, you know, Zach, the growth team, our entire like, we have savages across the whole board. Like we just brought
Chad, let's go.
Finance. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And
total
like, dude, even Chad has like turned up the volume over the past 90 days. We've been, internal phrase, offer maxing. Like, hey, how can we maximally extract as much valuable as possible? Because like the interesting balance between like a savage growth team and retention is like, Chad, we're getting a lot of new customers. And so it's like, hey, what are you going to do to get these people to come back and rip? Because if we just keep climbing on net new customers, it's like, all right, dude, new customer revenue's got to climb too. And so it's this like really fun team that we have that's like highly motivated to win. And so, yeah, it's been awesome. And I would say part of the fun is we've got retail expansion coming. So, you know, we've expanded into a lot of Bass Pros and Cabela's at this point. We're in Olive Shields. Wow. A lot of big banners we hope to announce by the end of the year as well. And so what's awesome is we go into those meetings, and I mean, you know, Bass Pro is like, hey, we have people coming to the store asking for hollow alpaca socks. And it's like, and that demand is built up by just an incredible growth team that's driven awareness. And like our entire team has done such a good job building at this. And so one of the next big phases we'll wrestle with as we kind of like look at that 9-figure run rate next year is how do we effectively drive the, you know, profitable awareness from our D2C channel to like Amazon and retail diversification in a way that makes sense. And so that'll be one of our next big challenges.
Wow. Tell me about this piece, Josh, because this is, you know, alpaca sourced, alpaca driven. Is the King of Wisconsin going to be you know, creating some alpaca farms as at some point? I can only imagine there's so many alpacas on the earth.
There's only so many.
You know, I mean,
be the King of Wisconsin if you're gonna go move down to Peru. I mean, the scale we're talking about. if we were just talking about our revenues, like we're not talking about Zach's alpaca farm in the backyard, nor am I. Like Josh doesn't want an alpaca farm in the backyard. We're talking about an operation that's fairly large. So we've actually looked into, hey, can we source this from the US? But an aggregation of enough alpaca with the right quality fiber, because like we're not just taking all of the fiber, it's like a very specific micron spec that we use for our socks. And so there's a lot of complexity in sourcing that in the US, but we happily knit in the US. So we get the best yarn that we can find. We bring it into the US and knit it here, primarily in North Carolina. So it's awesome to have that kind of that loop that brings us back to the States. Yeah.
Shout out North Carolina. Let's go. Shout out North Carolina.
That's incredible.
Josh, could you talk a little bit about, kind of as we're shaping into the end of this year, as the rest of 2026, is there any channel that you're super excited about right now that you're just like super fired up about as we're pushing into the rest of this year?
Well, I mean, like most brands, I would assume everybody's looking at H2 and like you're starting to get into the warm water, right? Where like your plans really got to start hitting, because if we're like most other companies listening to this and you're heavily reliant on the second half of the year, you're like, all right, plans got to start hitting. We got to make sure we're driving off, our profit targets, all that good stuff. I would say we're really trying to understand with retail growth too comes like, how do we really create the right ecosystem from a SKU offering and price point across Amazon, retail, and D2C. And so D2C, we've got this really tight mousetrap that, we're going to constantly test, but for the most part, like we feel solid about that. And it's so, do we create a unique SKU offering, et cetera, for Amazon so that we just avoid that channel conflict? And then, our net new cohorts really allow us to grow in retailers that are like non-obvious. And so with our performance line, that opens up ideally a whole new segment we can go target and win after in 27. And so
that's interesting.
There's no silver bullet. I wouldn't say like there's one thing I'm excited about. I'm excited about all the things hitting that allows us to actually go play competitively instead of just like empty bets on like, we're going to grow this. It's like, why? Well, we've actually supported it with product or channel expansion or, demand that already existed. And so it's been, we're gearing up for a fun 2027. We got to deliver on 2026 first. It's almost like we get too excited talking about next year, but absolutely execute on what's at hand.
I love that.
Fascinating. Josh, man, we appreciate you making the time and joining the show. Where should people find you and follow you? X is where I find you and follow you. But give us the whole list.
Find me at hollowsocks.com. That's
there we go. There we go. There we go. As a good CEO should.
Let's
drive demand. Go find me at hollowsocks.com.
Don't follow me unless you want to ask for a link on where to buy socks.
Let's go. Let's go.
I love it.
You can find me at hollowsocks.com. Give me any feedback too on X. Like I'll always check to see what people are saying, but we are ravenous for feedback. By no means does our team operate with ego. Hey, somebody launches a great new lander. I'm like, ooh, look at that. Did you see what they did there? Team deploys, we're just like an idea factory on, hey, how do we execute something as quickly as we can? So anybody's got anything out there, we're always open ears to get bigger, faster, as quickly as possible.
Well, we are open ears and open eyes, following you guys, and appreciate what you're doing inside of the space, finding ways to win, new cohorts, retail, Amazon, etc. Brother, we appreciate you making the time to join the show, and we look forward to having you back. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks, Cowboys.